Hello, everybody. This is Beth Worsdale, and I'm here today with the absolutely fabulous Autumn Bardo. I actually love saying your name.
That's awesome.
It sounds because it sounds quite posh.
My son picked it out. We did one day. We just did a whole give mom a new pen name evening, and so they went through the different names. And they kind of all collectively agreed. We went through like all the seasons.
Oh, but I like seasons names.
Right?
I actually nearly called my daughter Summer.
Summer's a great name,
isn't
right?
it beautiful?
Yeah.
But Autumn just sounds so posh.
It does.
But it suits you because you're an educator.
That's right. And then we picked the last name, which we thought Bardo, you know.
I know. It reminds me of like the French language, Autumn Bardo.
That's kind of what we were going for. And of course, you know, it's a great restaurant near where we live. So I like going there. Like, there's the menu, there's my name.
It's almost like it was called after you.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
I love it. Now, as you can see, we're actually in the same room. We are actually neighbours. Isn't that awesome?
That is amazing.
Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we've both been stuck in our own homes, quarantined. We're both safe. We've got no germs or lurgy. And then before that, I broke my ankle for
a while.
I was recovering for months. So we just didn't get to see each other.
I know.
So, but we're so happy. We're here. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me today.
I've been so excited because I got to tell you, everybody, the last time we had coffee, we was chatting about everything
for hours. Things we couldn't put on here.
No, we would have had bleeps all over the place, really, wouldn't we? I'm just going to quickly make sure that we're on streaming on the page,
okay,
so I can share it with the Writers Rock group and the Writers Rock readers. Otherwise, Wanda might slap me, but I might quite like that. Joy said technology. It is. We are live.
Okay.
And there we go. There we go. I can see
We're
us.
Official.
We're official. So I'm going to just quickly share it with both groups so everybody can join in. Unfortunately, I can't do it beforehand.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you know how to do it because
it's one of those things. There we go. So I'm going to share with Writers Rock now, and then share it with Writers Rock readers. And for those of you who have not actually read any of Autumn's book yet, why not? Because they're a bit hot. I'm going to share that to the Writers Rock readers group. There we go. I should have my glasses on again, but I don't.
You want mine?
Actually, let's try them.
They're
very posh.
They're magnifying glasses from Amazon with the yellow tint for computer.
Oh, for the anti-glare. They're actually, do you know what?
2.2 plus.
They're as posh as your name. I like them.
They're 2 plus.
I cannot see a thing.
How about down here?
Oh,
they're for this.
Yeah, they're for close.
They're for this.
Look at that.
Right.
I actually think I might have to get my eyes tested again.
2 plus.
You've just convinced me I'm blind.
It's Amazon, and you can get like 6 of them for like $20.
Seriously?
And different colors. So I have all the colors.
God damn it. I tell you, it just goes to show how much we pay when we go to the ophthalmologist. And I'm really impressed I actually said that word correctly. Straight off.
Some people have different things going on in their eyes.
I've got astigmatism.
Okay, so that might be.
So I'm one side squiffy.
So maybe you should just have like an eye patch and just wear the other.
My husband might like that. Now, I am so super excited to see you because you've been up to all sorts.
I have.
In the last year since I last saw you.
I've been busy.
It's been so exciting. But obviously, I'm very familiar with your books. Some readers may not be.
I will be happy to tell them.
Let's introduce your books because I got to tell you the covers are spectacular, and I want to talk about that in a minute. But show us some of your books, or show the readers some of your books.
So I'll kind of go in chronological order. I've been writing for 8 years, probably.
It's amazing.
8 years, but we can talk about that later. So the first book, it's traditionally published. It's called Legends of Lust. There's a little bit of glare on that. That's traditionally published. It's a collection of historical erotica. So it's super hot. Super hot. Okay. I got an agent, the whole 9 yards. With that, this came out last January. Okay. Then
can I hang on?
Sure.
I just need to hold this up because it deserves to be looked at. Where's the camera? Oh,
there it is.
Look at that.
There's
Isn't that beautiful? I think that really sums up how hot it is.
It is that hot.
It is that hot.
It is that hot. And we're actually, when we talk about the covers, I would say if you do your own covers, don't ever have what looks like a naked lady on the cover, because Instagram and Facebook, I can't remember about Pinterest, wouldn't really let me promote it. There's only so much promoting you can do with a traditional book, but they just said, and even though I covered the cover, covered the whole book, they just said, oh no, not happening.
Do you know what I've also discovered recently? That certain keywords will ping them off, ridiculously so.
Absolutely.
I can't even mention the fact that I have an ebook, because they will flag it because they don't allow digital downloads.
They're just coming up with new stuff all the time. The second traditionally historical erotica just came out in February. So somewhere it's sitting in boxes at bookstores. And it's Confessions of a Sheba Queen. It is historical erotica. It's a nice thick book. This is beautiful. Super hot. This has gotten I've been on some podcasts, Kinky Ladies podcast.
Oh, that's a bit of me, I've got to tell you.
Stoya is a world-renowned pornographer, but she also has a book club. I was on there on Sunday.
That's amazing.
Zoom meeting in New York City.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yes, and there is one more. There's two more. It was Erotic Awakenings podcast I was on, and the other one, when you talk, I'm going to have to remember which one it is.
I'm just going to hold this one up as well.
Okay.
Because it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at her eye.
I'm going to look really quick for it.
Beautiful cover, look. It is absolutely stunning. Confessions of a Sheba Queen. And let's face it, I mean, obviously, you know a lot more about this than I do. I can only go from what I've read in films. Okay, Autumn has done all the research.
I did the research.
But there was a lot less inhibitions, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Anything went.
No. This has all different kinds of everything. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Because I must admit, I love history.
And
I love history, and I'm fascinated with ancient civilizations. They just didn't care, did they? No. Especially if they were rich and powerful.
I think they were more open. Yeah, they were definitely more open. But yeah, in the book I connect her. There's a lot of mystery about her.
Okay.
And if you look at different histories, there's the biblical history, Jewish, Coptic, and I believe there's Ethiopian, and they all portray her differently. They portray her as different colors. They portray her doing different things. And so I kind of merged the two. Yeah. So I made her, and where Saba, the ancient land of Saba, because Sheba is just really Saba, is actually what is now Yemen.
Wow.
So, we know what people from Yemen look like, right? And then I made her mother from Ethiopia, and then I made her father from Yemen. So she's a nice blend.
Well,
I kind of merged a lot of things.
She looks quite sultry. I've got to ask though, did you enjoy researching as much as actually writing the books? Because I love researching.
I do, and I don't. I enjoy the research, but it's so... I have to be so organized when I do it.
Yeah,
and I make charts. I make charts, big charts on my computer, and I'll have like indigenous animals and creatures and food and occupations and weather and topography, and there's so much going on.
Wow.
So there's usually pages of stuff. And then, of course, I've always forgotten something, right? When people ask, how much research do you do? Well, we can talk about that. For one of these books, it was like forever, but months, like easily months before I touch pen or start typing, months of reading.
Do you use any sort of visual reminders? Do you have like picture boards with your characters or anything like that?
I have sometimes. For one of my books, I actually got a giant whiteboard because the time frames were so critical, that the period. So I had this giant whiteboard, and I had it propped up against the fireplace. So it was beautiful, right? And I had timelines because I had to get the timelines right.
Yeah.
And there was so much I can't keep that stuff in my head, and I didn't want to keep going. So I could see it visually, and then I just started popping stuff. And it was a whiteboard, so I could like scratch things and move things around. And there was a lot of people and names, and so I had to get it all straight in my head. But that's a lot of setup. And I'll do that. I'll usually make a secret Pinterest board. And
that's very handy, actually.
Yeah,
I've heard a few people do that.
And then you take, when you do your research for your books, you just keep that URL, and it's right in your Pinterest board.
That's very interesting.
Click it,
and that's not gonna eat up all your memory as well of whatever device you're using, is it? If it's all on the site rather than your device,
right?
It's freeing up your space,
right?
Clever.
I remembered the name of the other podcast I was on, which is amazing. It's called Girl Boner Radio. Girl Boner, amazing. She does women's sexuality.
Be making notes of this. I've got to tell you.
Girl Boner Radio.
You've got to be making
notes.
She's
on all the different platforms. She's amazing, and I got to speak on that as well. So that was really cool. So yeah, being on those podcasts and that one for Girl Boner Radio, I actually we drove into the city. And she had a sound recording, and you sit on the stool with the big old headphones. Oh,
it was all
with
proper
the mic
professional.
And that was a little nerve-wracking, but it was fun. With that, I knew that if I had said something, and at one point I actually think I said my real name, she just looked at the clock, the little ticker clock, noted it, and then she just went back and clicked it out. But for some of the live stuff, like, you can't do that.
No, you can't even have a chance to go bleep. Right. Yeah. It's done. Yeah. It's done. Oh my gosh! Right, show us the next one.
Okay, so
I love the cut. Are you showing that one next?
Okay, this one was indie published. So I'll give you a little background why I did indie published. The publisher for these just does like LGBTQ, erotica, that kind of sexual kind of that's their specialty.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I ditched we had parted ways. I had parted my ways with my agent because she just didn't want to take the one book. She didn't want to take it out, and then she wanted me to chop half it up, and that just wasn't working. And then the other one, she actually said I was the wrong person to write it. And that was this one, which is Dragon Lady.
That's like giving you a bit of a slap in the face. I would have been so insulted.
This has an actually, I'm waiting for Kirk's review back on this one right now, but it already has amazing reviews up there.
Beautiful.
And this is the story of Zheng Yizhao. She was a real life pirate in the South Seas.
She was a badass.
She was a total badass. I write about badass women, and she went from prostitute to the most famous, powerful pirate ever, with 40,000 boats under her.
That is amazing. I mean, this is a real woman. This is a real woman. Real events. This is what happened. Talk about lifting yourself up.
Any questions?
Oh, Tasha says hello. Hi, Tasha. Hey, darling. Feel free to ask any questions. We will keep looking. I'm getting a bit carried away because I've been dying to talk to this lady for months.
for this book, I usually have author notes in the back, and it tells you who's real and who's not real. But all of it's like this
all based on what happened.
Yeah. And there's some steamy parts, but it's not erotica. There's just some steamy parts because pirates, woman.
Well, exactly. Right? I'm just going to hold up this beautiful cover again because your inspiration for these book covers is just amazing. You never cease to amaze me, lady. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Well, for book covers, what I find is you go to your genre, you see what the book cover is, and I use like couple of the photos. There's deposit photos.
Yeah.
And then there's the other pricier one. Which one is it?
There's a few. Isn't there?
Pixel. But there's the pricier one. I actually find more beautiful pictures on that one. Which one is? I can't.
If you're getting beautiful covers like that, it's going to be worth it.
Then I give it. Well, I don't do the covers. I give it to my person who.
But you know what you want.
So what I give her is like, because I don't have any special stuff on my computer. I have PowerPoint. So I take the two photos and I kind of put how I want on it. and then I just send it to her, and then she does it, and then I'll go tweak this, tweak that. Like in the original here, she had like a million pairs of earrings on, and that wasn't working for me. Okay. Or I might say, change the font or do this or do that. Yeah. But then she'll do it. And then, I mean, so I buy the photos, which is fine. They're not, I don't know, it's just the cost of doing business, right? And even the vectors, like we have the dragon vector.
That is so cool. It's such a nice little touch.
Right?
I like it.
Well, all my professional, you know, the traditional ones have the vectors.
It's just absolutely beautiful.
And I always include in the back of my books, like maybe a chapter or two of my other books.
Which I think is fantastic.
You have to do that.
It just gives a little taster, doesn't it?
Yeah. And on my ebooks, you have a link. So you click that link and you go right to those books. So
something I haven't done yet.
So you got to do that. Okay. So ebook. The first one I actually, after Legends of Lust came out, the first one I put out, indie published, was The Impaler's Wife. So this is actually just one straight picture from one of those you know, those picture sites. Yeah, picture sites.
It's absolutely beautiful though, isn't it?
They did a great job. Now, what's amazing about this book, I mean, it's dual timeline. It's about a Vlad Dracula, but it's not a vampire book, but it has some mythology in it, and it's about his real Hungarian wife. It's told in two points of view. This book did pretty well because the Tantor Media, who does audiobooks, came to me and said, we would like to make an audiobook of this. So cool. It's the same cover because they actually then they repaid my designer. They paid her to format the square cover for the audiobook.
That's fantastic.
They gave me money to make the audiobook, and they had the amazing Samantha Detz do it's fabulous. I mean, she pronounces the names, you know, the Hungarian names, like I can't.
I would butcher them, I've got to tell you.
Right?
I would butcher them.
So that was really cool. So that's an audio
amazing. So, and audiobooks are such a big thing nowadays, aren't they?
They're huge. And, you know, it was funny when I was discussing audiobooks with somebody who was not in the business. They're just like, well, why didn't you record your own audiobook? I'm like, gee, I don't have a recording studio. I'm not a professional actor or a voice person. I mean, the audio people will do like a more masculine voice, more, and with the media company, Tantor Media, they sent me like sent me somebody's voice, and I could listen to it. And I said, you know, that's not quite the right voice. I said, this isn't. Yeah. This is like a gothic kind of dark book. Like I need like a deeper woman's voice. Yeah. And then they sent me the other voice, and I'm like, this is perfect.
That's fantastic.
You know, so really cool. So
is it out on audiobook right now?
Yes, it's out on audiobook right now. And so I think that's pretty cool. I was really excited when I got that. So I'm hoping.
I remember you sharing the post. And I was
like, yes, that was really cool.
That's such fantastic news.
And what was funny was that after the audio came out for this, my editor at my publishing house said, we got the audio deals for this and this. So this audio is now out. I didn't know it. I just went online. I'm like, oh, the audio's out. This should be coming out momentarily. The audio should be coming out momentarily.
That is so exciting. As I said, I mean, audiobooks are massive now. People are listening to stories in their car while they're doing their ironing, while they're relaxing in the bath. It's such a big deal. And there's a lot of people out there that don't feel comfortable or confident enough to actually read, you know, a big book.
Well, I think what you said was a lot of people, I know, like if I'm doing housework or cooking or ironing, which I hate to do, I put on a podcast.
I do.
So a lot of people do that. They do it when they're driving.
Yes.
I mean, so it's a way to engage your mind and fill up an otherwise boring task with a book. And the thing with audios that people told me that because I don't really listen to audios because my brain just is faster than somebody's speaking. Yeah. But a lot of people have told me they get the audiobook and then they still buy the book.
Oh, fantastic.
Because they want to they'll listen to it in their car and they're like, oh, home now when they get,
See, I'd be tempted to do that only because my pronunciation of some of your characters would be like so bad. I've got to confess, I had to read Harry Potter to my kids when they were younger. And I said the name Hermione wrong for years. Until the movies came out.
It
is Hermione, and I can't remember how I pronounced it.
Yeah, I probably
Harmony or something. I was calling her for
shame,
years.
and you're British.
I know, right? I know. It's crazy. Sacrilege. But yeah, so that would be quite handy for me.
And then this came out as well. So I kind of put all my indie books out pretty fast because they were all just sitting there waiting on my laptop. So I put them all out. It's pretty much like every couple, like 4 months, pretty much.
That's amazing.
And this is about Emperor Nero's personal poisoner. She's also a real woman in history. And Kirkus Review gave this an awesome review. Kirkus Review gave this an amazing review. And I'm still waiting to hear.
These are all getting awesome reviews.
Oh, the Dragon Lady. So they're all, I write about badass women.
I think it's amazing. I honestly really, really do, because I think women nowadays need to be a bit more inspired. You know, as much as we all talk about, yes, there's no glass ceiling anymore. What a load of crap. We're still fighting to get taken seriously. And as authors, we're still getting authors that are having to literally just use their initials because they're afraid of not getting taken seriously as an author.
Right.
Aren't they?
Well, yeah, and a lot of it just, especially if you're writing in a more like male-dominated genre.
Yeah.
Then I've noticed that people will just put their initials. Yeah.
Now you've been writing for 8 years.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Okay, so these are like the second half of my writing career. I started with paranormal under a different pen name, which I'm not going to say right now.
Okay.
Because I don't want to merge it right now. I may merge it later. And that's kind of one of the things I'm trying to think about. Should I merge this now? Should I just like take those self-published books? But what I did was I published on Amazon 3 indie paranormal. It was a series.
Yeah.
And I thought they were amazing. Like, damn, I'm good, right? And then I wrote all these, and then I went back. I'm like, I'm gonna go take a look at those and see if I can like clean them up. And I'm like, I was horrified.
Funnily enough,
I've
been feeling a bit like that recently.
I went back, and I'm not kidding you. It took over a month to redo every single one, and then I tell you what I found which was a godsend. And it's one of those things where you see it on the internet and you see people talking about, but like it doesn't like stick,
really
right?
compute, yeah.
And so I actually I found. And it was actually from a historical fiction society. This went to the Historical Fiction Society, and they decided to read it. And it was a glowing review, except for the very last sentence, which basically said that it needed another copy in it. I was horrified. Okay, but I went back, and then at that exact hour or two, like in that day, I found somebody on, I can't remember what website, what group it was. It maybe was 20K to 50K. Or
oh, right. Yeah,
right, that website.
Group,
and she was saying how she finally found how to activate the read aloud function.
Oh
my God.
Is that on Microsoft Word?
On your Word. I have it on my Mac, on my Word.
It is fantastic. I've used it myself, and I should have used it more.
I did after I rewrote every single one of my paranormal romance. I went back and I ran it through. It's tedious because the person's reading it slow.
Yeah, it's very monotonous,
and it's monotonous. But you're like, what? That wasn't my word, or what was that?
Yeah, you know, that comma shouldn't be there,
right? And so I found I've redone all of them like multiple times, but now they're like done.
Yeah.
And so then after the third paranormal romance was finished, I went and wrote the fourth one because I had to finish
it. And it's still fresh in your mind.
It was fresh in my mind because I had just done it. I redid it, and then because I had never advertised it before, I started putting. Advertised it on Amazon. And I did it KDP. These are not on KDP. The other ones are on KDP because they're like more like fun beach reads kind of thing. Yeah. You know, and I thought I'll probably get more KDP reads from that kind of thing. So basically 9 books.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, as you've been writing, obviously for the last 8 years, how much has publishing changed for you? And what have you enjoyed more, the traditional publishing or the self-publishing?
They really both have faults. Like things that are good and things that are bad.
I agree with that.
When people say either or, you're just like, yeah, you can't go there. The thing is, when you have a traditional publisher, so for these books, they had, I don't know, 20 eyes on them. Plus like a sensitivity. I don't know if it's a sensitivity reader, but someone who's just looking for that, someone who's just looking for typos, and you're still rereading it. They still send stuff back. Yeah. But they'll come and tell you things like, add more here. What happened to this dude? You forgot about him. You're, oh yeah. You know, or you don't want to say that this way, or this metaphor sucks, right? Yeah. So you have that. Also, I'm in bookstores. Yes. Right? I'm in bookstores.
Which is what most of us you really strive for.
So that was amazing. Plus for this one, and they send it to like official editing, like Midwest Review. There's a lot of like official review companies, and you get official reviews that they put into the the info page on Amazon and things. So you get the official review. So and also they'd hired a PR person, and so this PR person this one went to town. I mean, like I said, they got me the podcast on Girl Boner Radio, on Stoya's book club, which I mean, she has a blue check mark and like a bazillion followers, and she's amazing.
Just amazing. And so, did you see an uptake, a big difference?
Well, these I have no idea how many I sell. Absolutely no clue.
That's one downside, isn't it, to being traditionally published, is you don't get to see all the statistics or the ups and downs that we normally see.
You have but this one, traditionally published allows you to, like I said, they got me gigs. A podcast, Kinky Ladies is super fun, and Kinky Ladies,
I wish I'd have been there.
Kinky Ladies, you can listen. It's a podcast. Kinky Ladies, they said, oh, do you want to do this or not? And I listened to one of their podcasts, and basically what they do is they trash erotica, but in a fun way. Really? It's like your four girlfriends and you're trashing the erotica.
Like we do with a bottle of wine.
They do, right? And so I'm like, any publicity is good publicity, right? So I'm like, sure, go ahead. And they released the podcast about a month ago, and this is one of their favorite books. They only had glowing things to say about it.
That is so cool. Can you?
Yeah.
Because you know where the link is.
Yeah.
Could you add it underneath the?
I will.
Under the video. That's cool.
I will.
Right. Tasha says, do you have paperbacks for all the books?
I do. All the books have paperbacks. They're all paperback.
Fantastic.
I like, for some people, like, you have to have your eye on a physical book. I get tired reading.
I love the smell of new books.
Well, I
can't even say secret book sniffer anymore because I'm confessing. But I love the smell of a new book.
Yeah.
There's